million right now. I'm talking about like if it was today.
Right.
I think it was 1.5, 1.8. And we was only in like 10 cities. So I'm like, they said, Cam.
Okay, so Jim Jones went viral recently talking about how he thinks he could compete with Nas. The internet was not having it. Like, I had so many people taking polls.
1.8. And we was only in like 10 cities. So I'm like, they said, Cam, we gonna balloon the show up to 25, 30 cities. It could go anywhere from $3 to $4 million. I said, cool. Let me talk to the fellas, figure this out. So everybody's on the same page. We're getting it done.
To see how people felt, just street reaction. Like I had, was it Math Hoffa? He did like a sample of 100 people to see how many people would pick Jim Jones. I think out of that sample, honestly, if I had to say, it was probably like 5% who chose Jim Jones.
On the same page, we're getting it done. Cool. Then the versus situation come out of nowhere probably 2 weeks after this. So Jim is like, yo, let's do the verses. And I'm like, nah, Jim, we got money on the line. How much they talking about? And
it doesn't matter that it may be 5%. In my opinion, it would have been 100% picking Nas over Jim, but obviously you still have Jim's fans out there, which is good, and they express themselves. But this video, it's not about Jim, it's really more about Cam and how the competition from the verses with the Locks, Jadakiss, Shit Loose, and Styles P, how that may have affected his bag, his money. So definitely, I did not know they were getting paid for the verses, but obviously it seemed like they did, and it was money on the table, whatever. But yeah, you should listen to Cam.
Talking about, and it really wasn't a money play at first. It wasn't even about no money. And I said, let me do some homework. I ignored it for a while. I'm like, I'm not even paying that no mind. We got a tour coming up. If they want to do the verses after the tour, we'll do the verses after the tour.
Right.
Cabo come to me again. He said, Flea, what's up with the verses? I said, Cabo, we could do it after we do the tour. How much they got? So I finally talked to my homegirl, Melissa, talked to Swiss, whatever. They ain't talking about nothing. They talking about 100,000 for everybody. 100 racks for everybody.
So like 15,000 a piece for everybody.
It's six. They want 100,000. I just told you I had 1.5, 1.8 on the table for the tour. Could have ballooned up to $3-4 million.
Right.
I say, yo, listen, Swiss, what are we doing here? Yo, that's all we got. I said, I ain't doing it, bro. I can't do it. Well, what you want? Not that. I want way more than that. So I got the number up to like 500,000, something like that. Just for everybody still.
Right.
I'm like, nah, bro. This ain't even 100,000 for everybody. So Kiss hit me. He like, Killer, I knew you get that number up. I knew you get that number up, nigga. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get the number up, man. We gonna get the number up, but we got a tour that's worth way more than this. Why are we doing this? Let's do it after the tour. So Capo like, Cam is in Madison Square Garden. They have a fight that night. The camera's gonna be set up, this, that, and the third. They can't do it another time. I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't doing this. So Capo said to me, Cam, every dollar I make from this verses, I will give to you. I just want to perform in the Garden again. So I'm like, damn, Capo really want to perform, do this verses. I'm like, if he wanted to give up all the money he making, that mean he really want to do this.
Right.
All right, okay, let's do it. All right, now I got to start negotiating with Thriller, whatever the Triller. Yeah. I got to start calling them because I'm like, if this nigga gonna give up all this money, I'm not gonna take Capo money, but that's how bad he want to do it. So I call Swiss, I call Triller people, I can't remember their name, my homegirl Melissa worked for them. And I ran the number up. Now I ain't gonna tell you what they got. They got more than that. I worked it out so more than that. So I'm like, now I gotta start working out for me, because we got a tour on the table, and now they gotta wait. Now the people that's doing the tour, they don't want to do us to do the verses, because they feel like if people see us do the verses, the tour ain't gonna sell no tickets, because they already seen all the songs.
Right.
So I felt them. So I said, all right, cool. Everybody was happy with what they got. I said, I'm not happy because the tour's not happening. I need 25% of the door. He said, all right, bet. I said, I need an additional 25% for putting this whole together, because I wasn't going to do it. If my brother ain't say he was willing to give me all his money, I would have just had, me and him would have just argued. But I said, this is how passionate he was to want to do it. I negotiated stock in Triller. I said, I need some of the stock money that's in Triller.
You had
too.
an Al Heyman deal.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't finished telling you. I said, I need some of the stock that's in Triller too. I need part of the company. They said, all right, Killer, now you wildin'. I said, I'm not wildin'. Matter of fact, I need 6 beats from Swiss and 6 beats from Timberland too. They said, all right, what else you want? I said, let me think. I ain't finished thinking. Let me think of what else I want. Everything I asked for, they just kept giving it to me. So I ended up getting stock in Triller, 25% of the door, another 20% for putting the deal together, the beats from Swiss, the beats from Timberland, which I didn't never use them yet because I wasn't really on a music thing the last couple of years, just for fun. And the back end, if they sold out, I said some of the back end, pause. So that's why I ended up doing the deal, because I didn't even want to do this. And then when we got there that night, it was just pandemonium. You know, what a lot of people don't realize is this. The Lox was considered underdogs to me, which they shouldn't have been. They had music, and I think that because Dipset is so flamboyant and we got great music, we got anthems, and when we go into stadiums or clubs, people sing along, I think that people were underestimating the music that the Lox had, the features they've done over the years, the work that they put in. And I remember us all in the studio talking about Dipset, and you know, we like listening to Lox songs, and I just see everybody, not just Dipset, because I've been in the studio. Shout out to my man Shula. There's a few, and then this was like, damn, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot they had that one. I'm just sitting there like, this is what this wanted, right? Let's do it. But we still was prepared. We was ready. But what happened is New York, to me, my personal opinion, with us, but not with us. And when I say that, is that we've been rocking for such a long time, is that it ain't necessarily that with Dipset, they got to deal with it, because we workaholics. We gonna keep putting music out. We gonna keep being in your face. We gonna keep styling on you. We gonna keep making music, not just music being fly, talking, etc. And the Lox really had some good music, and they ain't come to play no games. Now, that was the first verses that went the way it went. Usually verses go, you do a song, they do a song. We do a song, they do a song. They just took advantage of opportunity, started ringing off songs back to back to back. Start talking crazy. Joel said, y'all ain't got no for the that nigga. Shout out to DJ Technician. That on the Mariah Carey. I said, oh, this ain't going right. Then when Jadakiss threw the Biggie on, I said, nope, this ain't going right. This is not right. Now, mind you, we losing bad the whole night from the beginning. So I had a freestyle ready that I was going to do towards the end of the night. But we was down so bad when I was about to do it, the crowd didn't even want to hear it and started booing. I was like, this is just stuff. Everything went left that night.
Yeah.
But those is like my nuts. So I didn't really mind losing it like that. I could listen, you guys, because I called it right afterwards, like, yo, good win, man. We gonna get the tour going. This, that, and the third. Y'all deserve that one. That's dope. What happens the next day? The tour people call. We're gonna have to cancel this tour. What happened? Why the tour canceled? Because it was a part of the show where Styles sat on my beach chair and we got into a little, a brotherly brotherly little tussle. That wasn't nothing. I went to see Styles the next day, gave him a hug. That's my brother. But the tour people was like, that didn't look safe. And I'm like, nah, that's my man. It wasn't even like that. They're like, no. And then it was mention of gang-related activity while you guys were on stage. So Chicago dropped out, Milwaukee dropped out, and St. Louis dropped out because it was, people mentioning stuff about gangs on stage. And we're going to have to reconsider the whole tour. So now think about this. I made sure it got 6 digits or whatever, everybody. But could have got high 6 digits because not just 4 million from the tour possibly, merch, after parties, everything else that comes with a tour would have made $1 million a piece. Minimum, everybody.
Yeah.
For that. And it didn't happen. Now, Jadakiss probably went on his own tour by himself and racked the fuck up. And it's well deserved because, like I said, those are my brothers, and I feel that they don't get the recognition that they're supposed to get. So
right.
That's how the whole Versus situation went. I didn't want to do it. We had money. Not saying I wouldn't have did it after the tour. Did it before the tour money up, and got shorties. That's my opinion on it. But shout out to the Lock. Shout out to my brothers. On the set, we put on a great performance that night, even though we was on the losing end of it. But it was dope for New York City.
He definitely addressed this. I'm not sure if that is part of the reason why him and Jim may have a little bit of, there's a little bit of turmoil between both of them. Like something needs to be addressed. Those two seem like they need to sit down, talk, chop it up, do what they need to do and put their differences behind them. Because definitely they look like they're very close and they grew up together. So the fact that they're grown men now, when you become a grown man, you gotta put your childish ways away and do what grown men do. So, of course, Cam and Jim, they've matured in their own separate ways and they don't seem like they're seeing eye to eye right now. And I was just wondering, could this have anything to do with the Versus, with the Locks? Listen to Cam address the situation of what really happened. Because from what I'm listening to here, if Cam was not really trying to do that and he planned on going on tour, and Jim Jones was more of the reason why they decided to go against the Locks on the Versus, and Jim offering to pay Cam or give Cam his proceeds from that battle. I'm not sure if that actually happened, if Jim actually gave Cam his money, because Cam never did spoke about it, but still, that would have been weird if Jim performed just as alongside Camron, and at the end of the day have to give Cam his proceeds just because he said he will. People say things, they say things like, I will give you this, I will give you that. Hey dude, I will give you whatever you want. They may just say that just to motivate you to do what they're asking you to do. But their intention to really give you what you're asking for, that may not be the case. I'm not sure if that is what is going on with this in this scenario with Jim Jones and Camron, because just because he offered to give Cam what he was going to earn from that Versus battle. If Cam actually came to collect, I'm sure Jim Jones would have felt some kind of way. But Cam never did address if he came to collect or not. So I'm not sure if that could be the reason why they may have whatever it is that they may have between them. But I hope they could brush it off and put that behind them. But listen to Cam address this situation. I found it interesting because with Jim trending right now, this is definitely good to know, especially within the world of hip hop. Anyhow, though, it seems like China's been rolling out their robotics. And honestly,
China's humanoid robots are rolling out to the public, and oh boy, they're looking creepy as hell.
this looks like great technology, but at the same time, it just gives you creepy vibes. What I mean creepy vibes, have you watched any of those movies when it seemed like the robots eventually gained consciousness and then started making decisions on their own? This just seemed like the start and how those movies started, like they start very innocently and eventually, as time goes on, the AI or the robotics becomes even smarter, and trying to override the humans. So basically, whatever program they were programmed to do, now they're overriding what the human beings have programmed them to do. So it's just something to be watchful for. I'm sure everyone who has money in China right now are trying to adopt this. It's kind of like having a new iPhone. The latest iPhone that came out, everybody wants to be, not left out. They want to be the first to get it. in this kind of situation, honestly, I wouldn't want to be the first to get one of these. I would let you be the first and watch you come back and tell me how you are enjoying it or how you hate your purchase. Then I will probably make my decision from watching you. Anyhow, though, robotics, I feel like there are areas where they would come in handy. But if you just need it because you need somebody to carry your groceries behind you because you're too lazy to pull them up yourself, I don't know if that's what I'm going to be getting that for. Like if I do decide to obtain one of this kind of technology, would it be because I need somebody to carry my groceries for me? I'm sure people have different reasons why they get what they get. But still, I would be on the reserve and watch everybody else try out their new technology and see how they're enjoying it. And based on that, I'll be making my decision. Anyhow, though, let me know what you think about this video. I just think it's interesting. And one more thing that has been kind of like, that just kind of caught my eyes recently. You know, I was really proud of Akon when he announced building that, you know, Wakanda type vibe in Africa, in Senegal. You know, when he was going to build the Akon city, where they were going to use the A-coin, some form of Bitcoin, you know, as a form of currency or whatever. Coin, some form of Bitcoin, you know, as a form of currency or whatever. But sadly, it seemed like that project.
People sometimes will write articles about, oh, this is not going to happen. Something like this could never happen in Africa. It's been 2 years. The construction hasn't started. I hear that all the time. We're building a city. You don't build a city in 24 hours.
It's going to be paused. That is what it's saying to be. I mean, Akon has been taking a lot of heat from the general public about his vision and his ideas. Because a lot of people were actually rooting for him and they want to see this happen, you know? I'm one of those people.
100% renewable energy, have cutting-edge smart city infrastructure. Its sole medium of exchange would be Acorn. It would serve as a symbol for what was actually possible in Africa's future. And Senegal themselves, yo, they were hyped about this idea. They were all in.
I want to see this happen. But the fact that it's become something that is just being talked about and it's been people
Exchange for a fee, of course. A fee which, however many years later, 7 years now, apparently single ceremonial foundation stone, virtually nothing. No construction had started.
They're just talking about it. And obviously, I saw a couple of videos of the site where this building or where this project was supposed to happen. It doesn't really look like anything is going on there. Like, even my land in Nigeria, I'm not Akon, definitely seem to have more. Look like they're doing more work over there than where Akon is supposed to be building this city, you know. So that's not good. That's definitely not good. But I'm sure he has his reasons. I don't know what the problem could be. You know, it could be money. It could be anything. You know, like it could be the indigenous citizens of that country having issues. Because I'm sure where he chose to build, maybe people already live there, and of course, if you're gonna build where people already live, you're gonna have to pay those people to leave their lands or buy them off their land or buy them off their property. I'm not sure what is going on in this scenario, but it's sad that that city will not be happening. But just looking at visuals of what it was supposed to look like the plan looked great, the idea, fantastic. But execution, you know, it's all about execution because talk is cheap. So I'm wishing Akon the best, but yeah, I'm sure he's probably still planning on doing something because everyone was looking forward to this. And just for you to back away from it completely without an explanation, I don't know if he explained or not. I'm still waiting to see if there's some form of explanation from him out there for the reason why his project is not happening according to plans. Yeah, let me know what you think about this video. If you like it, feel free to share, and thanks for watching.